Hey, and welcome to your Juvo board paddleboard workout. Have you ever tried stand-up paddling? It's the latest water sport sweeping the nation, but unfortunately you can't always get out on the water. But whether you've tried it or not, I've got a revolutionary way to kind of get your legs wet without getting wet. This is the Juvo board, and it's designed to help you take your stand-up paddle workout out on the water when you can't get to the water. So we're actually going to be practicing indoors. In the balanced position, it gives you the feeling of being on a paddleboard. I've taught paddleboard lessons for over 5 years now, and I love this product for the fact that I can get the same workout as I do on the water in the comfort of my own home when I can't get to the water. So that's the workout I'm going to take you through today. Okay, for our first exercise, we're actually just going to climb on our hands and knees on the board and come down to our belly. I want you to get used to the board and the feeling of the instability of the board. So down onto your belly, just reaching up for those little cutout handrails there, and we're just going to kind of tip back and forth. I want you to feel how it moves against the unstable surface of the floor with the little rockers underneath. So this is about 30 seconds here. Maybe you can lift your feet off. What we're doing is just warming up the body, engaging our core, just as if you were boogie boarding on the water. So we're just kind of allowing our body to get used to the unstable surface. 10 seconds to go. Keep breathing, just keep moving your body, and we'll rest there. So you can just feel how the surface is a little unstable, just feeling how your body kind of adapts to the board. The next one we're gonna do is just kind of a swimming exercise. So it's as if you were paddling out onto a wave on the ocean, just getting ready to catch your wave. So we'll be just kind of bringing the feet up, and we'll begin our swimming section in just a moment. So just go ahead when you're ready. Start swimming, maybe kicking your feet a little bit, working your arms. Just imagining you're swimming through the water here, and you'll feel how your core starts to kind of engage and get a little bit stronger through your stroking. It's a little warmer in there. It has to stay stable as the board moves. Breathing in, breathing out, reaching those arms nice and long, staying right outside the edge of your board. Good, and rest there. Maybe we'll take a stretch back, put yourself on all fours, and then sit back and stretch here. Feels really nice to stretch on the board. You can kind of rock side to side here and feel what that feels like. Maybe take a side stretch to one side, and then a side stretch to the other side. So it feels kind of easy as we're starting the workout here, but remember, we're doing this 3 times. Let's get started for our next exercise. We're actually going to go down onto our belly. This is going to help you create that pop-up exercise of standing up in an upright position. Tuck your toes under, press yourself up to your knees, step your right foot forward and your left leg back, and then just standing up. So this is how we're coming up to transition to a standing position on the board. It's kind of like that surf-style pop-up exercise that they do when they catch the wave. So we'll come up to the toes or the knees, step the foot forward, open wide, feeling that little unstable surface that we're on that just creates a little balance challenge. Down to the belly. Remember, you can stay on your knees when you're doing this, stepping the foot forward. Eventually, maybe you're gonna hop your feet forward. All the way down. You can go a little faster if you want to. Good. And that one will really get you winded. So let's take a break there. Ooh, stretch back and breathe. Again, just kind of enjoying that rock side to side. Stretch your arms out, stretch your legs out if you need to. Breathe in deep, roll your shoulders back, and we'll get ready for our next exercise. So it's as if we're coming up all the way to standing, just like we did earlier. Only this time you're standing like you would traditionally on a paddleboard. Feet are straight on, feet are hip width apart, and we're right in the center of our paddleboard. We're just gonna simulate paddling. So we've come up from the water. We'll take our imaginary paddle in our hand, squat back and paddle. So we've got about 30 seconds. We'll do about 8 of these on each side. Breathe, lift high, sink your hips back. You'll notice I'm doing a little bit of a hip hinge here. This is just how you would paddle on the paddleboard. Let's switch sides and paddle now. So you can see how there's a little rocking action underneath my feet of just that unstable surface. Good, let's take a rest there. Ooh, you can feel that heart rate starting to come up. It feels really good. Roll your shoulders back and down. Feel the instability there, just kind of shifting your weight back and forth. We'll get ready for our next exercise, which is going to be squats on the paddleboard. Come a little bit farther forward before we begin, and where you can see that bar, you can kind of judge how far you're going to reach your hips back as opposed to the bar. So it's going to look like this. You can touch the bar and sink back into your heels and then stand up. So these are just paddleboard squats. Here we go. Let's paddle all the way down and up. We're squatting towards the board, standing up. Breathing in deep, standing up. And you don't have to reach your arms forward, but it just kind of creates a counterbalance. When your hips are going back, your arms go forward. Good, as low as you can go. If you don't want to go very low, that's okay too. You're still getting the workout in the thighs. Almost there. Good. And finish there. Let's rest the legs a little bit, shake them out. If you need to step off your board and have a sip of water, now's a great time to do that. Ooh, I feel that. I feel my body, my heart rate, my core, everything's working. The cool thing about the paddleboard is when you're on the unstable surface, your core has to stay tight the whole time. Soft bend in the knees always. We never want to lock the legs out. Moving into our lunges next. Our paddleboard lunges look like this. You're going to take that full squat down to the board, step your right knee back and down, arms up, find the balance, hands down to stabilize the board, step back up, stand back up. So here we go on the other side. Squat down, step back, arms up, and down. Let's do that a few more times just to really get that heart rate up and feel that instability. Now, if you have trouble going all the way down to the board, guess what you could do? You could move forward, and when you come down with that knee, you could just come to the bar. You don't have to bring the hands all the way down. Inhale, exhale. So not only are we working the legs, working the core, but our heart rate's up there too. Last one here. All the way up and relax. 30-second rest there, and then we move on. Breathe in, roll those shoulders, take a big breath in. Feels really good just to create that workout on an unstable surface. We're gonna move down to the board now, onto all fours. Again, if you don't wanna go all the way down, you have the added addition of being up here. I'm gonna come down onto the board for our table balance exercise though. So your workout's gonna look like this. You're gonna take your right arm forward, your left leg back, find the balance. Ooh, see how it's unstable? We want that. So if you're wobbling around, that's good. Then we'll switch sides. Left arm and right leg, and switch. Right and left, left and right. And you're going over the height of the bar just to give you a kind of judge to where to put your arm exactly. Inhale and exhale. Feel my heart racing, 10 more seconds. Just adding that unstable surface creates so much more calorie burn because you're working those stabilizer muscles. Okay, let's sit back and have a stretch. Breathe in, breathe out, deep breath here. We'll come up, maybe have your head tip to one side and then tip to the other side. Rolling the shoulders a little bit. Inhale up. We'll move on to our final exercise, which is our core exercise, working your core even more. So we'll be moving down to our back on the board now for the next 30 seconds. Take your body down. Legs are straight on the board as you lay down onto your back. These are our elbow crunches, imagining you're holding your paddle in your right hand. Press up to the height of the elbow and then come back down. Here we go. We've got about 8 of these on one side and 8 on the other. Should give us about 30 seconds, give or take. So you're only coming up to the height of the elbow, remember, not any higher. Let's try one more there and switch right to the other side, even though your abs are starting to burn, because you started this thinking, hey, my elbow's gonna help me, and then you quickly realized that it does not help you. And your core is on fire, which is what we want. Got about a couple more there. Good, and then just take a full body stretch. Stretch those arms out overhead. Ooh, my abs are talking to me. How about you? Breathe in, breathe out. We'll rest 30 seconds here, and then we're going to keep going on our second round through those exercises again. Let's help ourselves back up, and we'll begin with round 2. If you're ready to work your core like never before, let's move on to round 2. So again, let's hop onto the board from the ground. We'll start on our belly for that just gentle boogie board action. 30 seconds here, rocking back and forth. You can pick up your feet if you want to, or leave them long. This is a nice active recovery before we go into all the rest of the workout. So just kind of enjoy it, but really keep that core tight. Let your core make the movement of the rocking action side to side. Breathe in and breathe out. If you want a little more challenge, maybe take your elbows off the board and just really let your core focus on it. And let's move on. So little rest there. You can stretch, open up those abs. They got a good workout on round 1, so it's good to stretch them out a little bit. Or rest your head down. Or let's sit back and stretch. We can do that as well. And we'll be going into our swimming action on the board. So it's as if you're swimming out past the breakers here, down on your belly. Keep your heart elevated off the board and shoulders back. And let's begin. Reaching forward. And then just doing with whatever your legs want to do. If they want to go back and forth, if they just want to hold up there, they can just hold up, or you can keep them long. Stroking through the water, keeping your core engaged. We're just adding to that little boogie board action with the core, kind of rocking us side to side. Breathing in, breathing out. 10 seconds to go. Good. And let's sit back and stretch here. Another great way to stretch is to bring those knees forward, hold the bar and stretch back. You can get a good upper body relaxation stretch here in between exercises. We've got our little powerhouse pop-up next, where we'll go from our belly to a standing position. So let's set up for that. This is just as if you've caught that wave and you're ready to stand up on it. So we're down on our belly. I'll show you the modified once again is just to keep the knees bent as you press up, right foot forward, left heel on the board, open up kind of into a warrior 2 stance, and then come back down. So if you're familiar with yoga, that's kind of that warrior 2 pose. Now you can do it from the toes. Pop that left leg up, arm open, come back down. It's a nice wide surf style stance. Keep doing that. Come up and down, your choice. Knees or toes, keep it easy, or challenge yourself a little bit. I can already feel my heart rate coming up. Feels good. As you progress, you can even jump those feet into position. Over time, just kind of getting yourself where you want to be into your workout. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Should almost have our 30 seconds there. Good. Let's come up to that standing position, just kind of find the balance for a second. Feels really good. Let's step all the way up and take a nice forward bend stretch as we rest here. Let your head hang down. Breathe in, breathe out. Feels like a really good stretch. Then we're gonna roll up and get ready for our paddle technique. So getting our paddle on here. So step back to the narrow part, that little center of your board there, feet are hip distance apart. And we'll get right into our next exercise. So again, we're hinging at the waist, pulling the hips back. We've got our imaginary paddle and we're paddling through the water. Just about 8 times on one side, and then we'll be switching to the other side. Feels really good. Drive those hips forward and back. Little small squat there. Let's switch to the other side. I'm gonna dig that paddle deep into the water on this side. If you've ever been on a paddleboard, this is a great way to work your entire body, especially your core. Every stroke is like a standing crunch. Good. Let's take just one more on one side, one more on the other side, and we'll rest there. Shoulders up and back. 30 seconds to rest here before the next exercise. We'll be moving into our squats. So for the squats, you do want to have your feet just a little bit wider. Maybe you can scoot forward if you want to utilize working with the bar. So just kind of stepping forward, sitting back into your heels. When you're ready, we'll begin. And we'll be sitting back, reaching the hands forward and then up, down and up. You could also add to your workout by reaching the arms overhead. This is a great place to also add weights over time because the unstable surface allows you to recruit more muscle fibers with that resistance training. Breathe in and breathe out. 5 seconds. Okay, we'll finish there and just rest for a second before we move into our lunges. So again, let's bend forward, reach towards the bar. Just let yourself hang, stretching the back of those legs. You can even step one foot back and stretch into the calf, and then the other foot back. So we'll come back up into that same position. We'll work our way down for lunges. Inhale deeply, and here we go. Squat down, hands on the board to stabilize, right knee back and down, arms up, find the balance, come back down, stand back up. And we'll switch to the other side. Knee down, arms up, hands down, stabilize, stand up. Keep going. Breathing in and breathing out as you go. This really helps to keep your core tight the whole time because it's almost as if you can't be on the board without tightening your core. You might fall over if you do. Inhale and exhale. Good, just a little bit more to go. Maybe last one here. Good, let's stay down on the board. Just stretch for a second, sit your hips back. Maybe take a stretch to the left side. So we're actually stretching down the right side body while we reach to the left. And then same thing to the other side. Oh, that feels good. So our table balance is next, just a nice way to continue working the core. Hands underneath the shoulders, or you can place your hands up onto the bar as well. Inhale deep and wide. Let's reach the right arm forward, left leg back, and then bring it down, switch. 30 seconds here. Inhale and exhale. Long line of energy from your fingertips to your toes. Belly up strong into the low back, so really draw that belly button in. Enjoy that little wobble sensation. That's your body learning how to develop more strength and balance. Good, let's finish there. Hold here just for a second. Think about when you're balancing to really draw string in at the waist and zip up your low abs. That's a good analogy for just kind of keeping the core drawn in tight. Breathe in. We're going to transition finally to our back exercise for the paddle elbow crunch. So it's as if you're holding your paddle overhead, elbow on the board, paddle in your right hand, left elbow on the board. Take a deep breath in, and then we'll press ourselves up just to the height of the elbow, and then come back down. I love to do this on the paddleboard because you can really feel it, and if you get too hot, you can just flop right in the water when you're done. Inhale and exhale. Just a couple more on this side. Are you burning yet? And let's switch sides. Right elbow in the board, left arm up. Inhale and exhale. Three and two and one. Full body stretch, arms overhead. From your fingers to your toes, stretch out, breathe in. Oh, that feels really good to have round 2 done, doesn't it? Let's move on. Round 3 is about to begin, so let's get on board. Hop onto your knees and down to your belly. We'll begin with our boogie boarding fun. So here we go, 30 seconds, just back and forth. Again, if you're looking for more sensation, take those elbows off the board. Just use the core. Breathe in and breathe out. Make sure you're lifting your heart off of the board. That way it's all core focused. None of the rest of your body will be helping you. 5 seconds. And then a quick rest here. Might take that little cobra or even sphinx pose. You're up on your elbows. You're just kind of pulling your heart forward, shoulders back. Breathe in and out. And then we'll come back down to the belly to prepare for swimming. Remember here, if you lift a little higher, you're going to get more of a challenge. Here we go. Swim the arms back and forth. Reach as far forward as you can and lift up a little bit higher. See how many vertebrae in your back you can lift higher. Lift that heart up, resting on your rib cage there. And reach nice and far with your arms. Kick with your legs if you want to, or keep them straight. Just this alone, you'll feel really working your core. Let's take a rest there, press back. Deep breath in and out. Again, you can stretch another way by placing your hands up on the bar and sitting back onto your hips. We'll move back down to the board now so that we can pop up. So down onto your belly, hands underneath the shoulders, knees or toes, press up. Step one foot forward, the other foot, the heel goes down as you pop up into that warrior two stance. And then back down to the board. Knees or toes land soft, and then press back up. So you choose your way to get up here. Imagine here comes that wave. We're gonna catch it and stand on it. Deep breath in, deep breath out. So this could actually help you if you're getting ready to head to the ocean and try some surf lessons. You're getting an advanced practice here right in the comfort of your home. Good. Let's finish there and rest. Knees down, sit back and stretch. Feel your heart rate up? I do too. Sit up a little bit, roll the shoulders back. We'll come up to stand now, since that's where we were working our way up to before. Working our paddle technique. So again, this is our hip hinge paddle technique. Arms up, holding that imaginary paddle. Push your hips back and then forward. This helps you get that paddle deep into the water. So when you are out on your board, always cover up that whole blade under the water. Keeping your core engaged. Every time you press down, this has to tighten. One more on this side. Let's switch sides. Hips forward and back. So it doesn't have to be so much of a squat as it just does forward and back. Let's try one on one side, one on the other side, and we'll call that good. Resting there. Shoulders back. Little rolls here. Roll the neck around. Moving now into our squats. So we'll stand tall. We'll open the feet a little bit more. If you want to move a little forward on your board and reach for the bar, that's also a nice place to reach for, just to counterbalance. Hips back, arms forward, and stand up. If you don't want the arms overhead, maybe you just want them on the thighs, that's fine too. Or just down by your side, reaching towards the board, that's fine too. Inhale and exhale. Feel that little instability on the board, we like that. 10 seconds to go. Breathing in, breathing out. Good, finish there, resting. Catching your breath. Maybe gentle movement side to side, maybe that stretch forward. Stretch out the back of those legs. And roll up slow. Let's work into our lunges. So again, you'll be stabilizing the board by squatting down first. Inhale the arms up. And here we go. Squat down, stabilize the board. Right knee back and down. Arms up overhead. Hands down to stabilize, step back up. Reach back up. Other side. So we'll just keep flowing side to side. Even here, you should be able to feel your core working. It's not just the lower body. It's really that core having to stay engaged just to keep you from kind of falling off your board here. Inhale and exhale. And the next time you come out for one of my paddle fit classes, you'll have an edge on the competition. One more time on the other side. Good, let's stay down here. Take a rest down on both knees. Maybe some gentle cat and cow as we're stretching out the core here, just rounding the back and then lengthening the spine. Good. How's that feel? Just sitting back, stretching your hands wide on the board is really nice as well. And let's come up for our table balance. Hands underneath the shoulders and reach. Right arm forward, left leg back, and release. Other side. Switching back and forth. Always remembering to breathe. Drawstringing in at the waist, zipping up the low belly. Good. Inhaling and exhaling, smiling through your workout. 5 seconds. And let's release there, sit back and stretch. Maybe sitting up on your heels, rolling the shoulders back, and we'll begin to transition down to our back for our final exercise, our paddle elbow crunches. So we'll take our feet out in front, lay down onto the back, legs straight, elbow on the board, right arm up, press into that left elbow, and here we go. All the way up and down. Pressing to the height of the elbow. There's 3. And 4. And 5. Going to 8, and then we'll switch sides. Ooh, I feel that. My abs are burning. Here's 2. 3. No higher than that elbow. Keep it on the board. Last 2 to go. 1 more. Oh, and stretch back. Ah, that feels so good. 3 rounds, you guys. You did fantastic. Let's come back up. Well, that was your paddleboard workout on land. So this is a great tool to utilize that with. Continue on with your stretching, your relaxation. Just make sure and stretch that body all the way out. Take some light sips of water and join me for more Juvo board workouts. Stay healthy.